Everyone is talking about yield farming, but only a few strategies are actually making real profits at this moment in time. I'm going to talk to you about 3 DeFi yield farming opportunities at this moment in time that I think are really strong. And as a bonus, what I'm going to do is talk about a platform they're going to launch soon, similar to what Aster has recently just done. So let's dive straight on into it. Position 1 is Aster USDT. I talked about this and I'm actually in this position at this moment in time. And what I'll do is I'll show you what I've earned and lost, obviously, in this position since I got into it. But you can see here my range is up to 284. My lower range is 170. And again, I'm in the range. I got into this around 227 and has been in and out of range obviously over the last day or two, but hopefully we can maintain this and push further up. Key reason to get into this is I wanted to buy the token anyway, and instead of just buying it here and accepting the losses, I'm going to be earning whatever I can along the way, and as soon as we get back up to this, I'll have a percentage of fees that I'll be after generating. That will be my long-term holding. So again, I'll show you that in just 2 minutes. And just on the topic of obviously Aster USDT, I got into this on PancakeSwap, but you can use different tools like Crystal.app here. You can see I recently talked about this a few weeks back, but again, we're in the similar scenario here. You can get into this roughly to 169, 284. It can give you a breakdown of what you can estimate earnings per 24 hours. So you can see here we can earn roughly $21 based on a $1,000 deposit. The APR is 63%, so it's 2 point something, I think, is it per day? So 2.12% we're getting per day on fees, which is obviously really, really good. You can see obviously over the year it's 773. So again, this is a wide enough range still, as you can see over here is close enough to the similar range. And again, ideally we want to get this pushing up closer to the middle and steady out in the middle. Worth to check out here for setting up your ranges and setting up your positions. And staying on the Crystal app, what we're going to do next is jump over to another position that I really like, is XRP USDT. You can see here volume is obviously 361,000, not extremely high, but the thing about it is there's a lot of XRP holders out there, and the ability to actually use your XRP to farm positions I think is really strong. I think it's strong in terms of portfolio health. A lot of people, as I mentioned, hold XRP, and as I said, the ability to actually farm your tokens and have them working for you, for me, is personally one of the key things what I always look to try and achieve with any kind of crypto. So again, here $1,000 is only going to earn you roughly 70 cents a day, but it's 23 a month. You're going to stay in this position and hopefully, as I said, stay within range is the key thing. So we could set this to a wide range, and we can go much higher up and obviously a little bit lower. Obviously, what's going to happen is going to impact massively your overall position, but you can see here 58% to the downside. So even if we change it to that, you're still going to be getting 1.5% obviously per month. So what is about tiny half a percent or something like that. But for most people, they have big holdings of XRP. So 10 grand in XRP is getting you $5 a day. Again, nothing wrong with it. Having your bag work for it. And if you wanted it, you can set this up to pretty much auto compound as well. If this position actually has it. So the Crystal app, you can auto compound. There is some positions that can and cannot do it, of course. So just definitely worth to check out. For position 3 is a bit more different, a bit more of a stable kind of approach, safety net, I suppose, point of view here. So for this, we're jumping over to VFAT. And you can see here over on this chain, Lena, I think it's pronounced. I know I'm going to pronounce it wrong, I know, but we'll go with Lena, or something like that chain. You can see we have USDC and MUSD. So MUSD is the MetaMask USD stablecoin, and if we jump over here, this is pretty much MetaMask USD. So it's obviously a stablecoin that they brought out to try and encourage liquidity and using stablecoins on the MetaMask wallet. So it is definitely, backed by a bit of knowledge of crypto, for want of a better word. But as you can see here, it's 20% for a stablecoin. Decent, obviously, TVL here. So again, this is obviously over on EtherX, and I'm going to pronounce it wrong as well. So you have your positions here, and again, you can see in this, we're going to be getting 20% on a stablecoin position and farming this. For me personally, opportunities like this, you don't see that often with stablecoins, so definitely something to look at. I would also recommend you to check the stablecoins, because there are some versions of synthetic stablecoins that may not naturally stay close to the one-to-one stablecoin value, so definitely worth a check. But even at that, if you look here, you have USDT and USDC over Black Hole on Avalanche. Again, we're getting roughly 10-11% for this again, which is extremely good for a stablecoin position. So definitely something to keep an eye out on. And again, if we jump over here to MetaMask, not MetaMask, CoinGecko, you can see here the token, and you can see over the last 3 months time, you can see how close it stayed to the $1 mark. We've obviously had points here where it did drop not way down, but a good bit down. So you can see, if I can get to it, it dropped to 97 cents. We got back up. So something you'll have to check through MetaMask, how do they keep it close to $1 dollar value, and see what mechanisms they have there to protect it. But again, as I said, a key platform, a key position I think you could potentially build out if you're looking to be a bit more secure and, hands off, hold off on risk. So as I mentioned, there's two things I wanted to kind of show you. I want to show you my own position at the moment in the Aster token. So if we jump over here to PancakeSwap, you can see here, this is my position, hopefully, yeah. And you can see I got into this a couple of days ago for about $1,000, give or take on it. You can see here we've earned $80 in fees. So obviously we're down a little bit. Now the key thing to remember here is, if I put in my 1,000 when I was going to buy the token, it still will be worth $893. It still will be down no matter what. The benefit here of buying the way I bought it is yield farming is now I've claimed an extra $80. And as I mentioned over here, this 21 is going to be staying Aster tokens, and this 40 is going to be converted to Aster tokens. So what's going to happen is it's allowing me to buy this token without necessarily having to actually just go out and buy it. And yield farming is the way. So as I said, as soon as we get back to probably this price range, I will look to claim my rewards, potentially compound them back in, or not compound and grow my Aster bag. But as I said, it is one of my key approaches to buying tokens. So as I said, you can see pretty much what I have. And finally, as I mentioned, all the talk was about Aster. Everyone was eager to get into this Aster token and Hyperliquid and all these platforms. I'll be doing a deep dive on this platform in the coming days. So flyingtulip on .com. If you're not familiar with what it is and who's behind it, you need to check out my own X feed. But what I'm going to do is a deep dive on this, because I think this is going to be a massive for the entire space. This is going to be built on the Sonic chain first. It will be cross-chain. It will be listed on different chains. But the key thing here to remember is a lot of stuff behind the scenes that's going to be happening here. And as you mentioned, it's 200 million already seed round funding. If you know who Andre Coronia is, then you'll have an idea of what he's built. If you don't, you need to do a bit of research on that. I don't want to give away too much, but one of the key things they have here is it's a kind of a DeFi Swiss Army knife, for want of a better word. It is going to have borrow, it's going to have lending, it's going to have perp tradings, it's going to have a general trading platform for DEX trades, all this kind of thing. But the key thing here is to understand is the tokenomics have changed massively in this, and there's an opportunity to earn fixed yield and potentially price appreciation and things like that. So I will be doing a deep dive on that over the coming, hopefully we'll have it done over the weekend to start next week some stage. So look, again, if you're find this information helpful, let me know in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Again, if you're interested in kind of building a community around all this with me, I've started up this on the school community, Wealth Builders Alliance. The aim here is to try and everyone to helping each other grow our crypto, grow our portfolios, and by getting extra eyes on different areas and stuff like that. So definitely worth a check out if you're interested. So look, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks very much for watching, and I hope everyone has a great day.